Small Business Recovery Grant. I'm sure you must have heard about it here and there because they started this in June, and this grant is still around. Okay, so this particular grant is administered by New York Empire State Development, and it's powered by Lendistry. So there are two players here, ESD and Lendistry. So we, as in Women's Venture Fund, we are appointed as the technical assistance provider by the ESD. So what does that mean? That means that we become pretty much your advocate. If there is a problem or anything with your application, we are there to help you. So this is a flexible grant assistance to currently viable small and micro businesses and also for-profit independent arts and cultural organization in New York State. So when you say viable, they have to one condition is your business should have started before March 2019, and it should continue to be in operation as of whenever you apply for this particular grant. Grant amounts vary. Anything if you're, it depends on your annual gross receipts in 2019. So if your annual gross receipts in 2019 was between 25 to 49,999, then you can get 5,000 per business. So if you have multiple businesses, you can apply multiple times. And if your annual gross receipts was anywhere between 50 to 99,999, you can get up to 10,000 per business. And if your annual gross receipts was 100,000 to 2.5 million, before it was 500,000, they increased it to 2.5 million on in August. So now in such a case, you can get an award up to 10% of gross receipts, but they are saying that the maximum grant amount is 50,000, which means, till 500,000, it's simple. Like, 10% is 50,000 or less, whatever your 10% is. But if your, let's say, annual gross receipts is more than 500,000, then I think you can ask up to 50,000. That's what I understand. If it is more than that, Lendistry will inform you, but this is what we know so far. But there are some eligibility criteria. Let's listen to it. Is between 2019 and 2020, your gross receipts should be between 25,000 and 2.5 million per annually. What it means is, for example, your 2019 annual gross receipts was, let's say, 5 million or 3 million, more than 2.5 million. And your 2020 gross receipts is less than 2.5 million, you are still eligible. And you should demonstrate at least $1 net profit in 2019 business return. And you should demonstrate at least 25% loss in annual gross receipts in a year-to-year revenue comparison as of December 31st, 2020, to the same period in 2019. That's why you have to submit both 2019 and 2020 business tax returns. There are other conditions, something like you should demonstrate that the total business expenses on the 2020 business income return are greater than the grant amount. What this means is, for example, let's say you're asking for $10,000. So you have to kind of show that, like, you spent $10,000 in 2020 or more. So that's what it means. But if you have received payment protection program, PPP program, if the loan was less than 250,000, both one and two combined, then you're eligible. Even if it was forgivable, you are eligible for this grant. And if you have received COVID-19 EIDL or IDL advance grant of 10,000 or IDL supplemental grant of 5,000, if it's less than that, you're eligible. But just remember, it is grant, not loan. There's something called idle loan. If you have received idle loan and if it's more than 10,000, it doesn't matter. It's a grant. They're not talking about loan. And likewise, if you have also received SBA certified venue operator grant, you can apply for this grant. You are not eligible if you're a non-profit organization or if you're linked with government offices and so on. And also, if you have received award from the SBA Restaurant Revitalization Grant Program, you won't be eligible for this grant. There are cases where people have applied for SBA Restaurant Revitalization Grant, but they haven't received. In such a case, you can apply. So the application itself is very simple. I will show you how to go about it. You need to have certain documentation. One is you must have 2019 and 2020 business income tax returns ready by now. If you're a corporation and LLC, you have to submit IRS Form 1120. If you're a partnership, IRS Form 1065 and Schedule K1. Or if you're a sole proprietor, then IRS Form 1040 and Schedule C. You must submit fully filed federal tax returns for 2019 and 2020. That is very important. There's something called IRS Form 4506C. If you're not aware of it, don't worry about it. That is only required by Lendistry, and if they follow up with you asking for this particular IRS Form 4506C, they will tell you how to go about it. So at the time of when you're applying for this grant, don't worry about this IRS Form 4506C. However, you have to provide proof of business location and current operation. So you must provide two of the following, like current lease, utility bill, current business bank statement or current business mortgage statement, business credit card statement, professional insurance bill, payment processing statement, or NYS ST 809 or ST 100 sales tax collection documentation. Not all, just two of any of these documents. You have to provide that. And if you had any employee, then you have to submit NYS 45 document for employer forms. But if you didn't have any employee and you consider yourself as an employee, then you probably, you don't have this NYS 45 document. So you have to, there are cases where a sole proprietor, they have included themselves as an employee and they've asked for NYS 45 document and there was some confusion. So you have to kind of mention that, it's not employee, it's yourself, unless you have NYS 45 document. Then you have to submit a schedule of ownership. If you are applying for this grant, you have to be at least 20% is owner of your business. If there is anybody else who is also at least 25% is owner of the business, then you have to submit their documents, something like social security number, phone number, email, photo ID, and so on. So you have to submit everything for you, yourself, and or your partner. And the proof of business organization, just one. Either you can provide current business license, current business certificate, or certificate of organization, or DBA or certificate, or NYS certificate of authority, or articles of incorporation, or NYS municipality issued document showing authorization to operate in New York State. So any one of these you have to submit. Once your application moves forward, then you, they will ask for IRS Form W-9 and bank account information. If you are comfortable linking your bank at the time of when you're applying for this grant, go ahead and do it. But, at some point, once your application moves forward, they will reach out to you and they ask for this bank information, and it's a direct deposit. Important, you must provide evidence acceptable to New York State that you are operational and that you are not restricted by any other state, local, or other agency mandate. So how can you apply? Very easy. I'm going to share this PowerPoint presentation with you even after today, along with this link, which is nysmallbusinessrecovery.com. You know what? I'm going to actually demonstrate how to go about it. So let's go there. So once you click here, so this, when you go to nysmallbusinessrecovery.com, this is where you reach. And this is the government website. And this particular website has all the information if you want to go through it. They have explained it very well in different languages. So it's all there. All you have to do is apply now. You see that begin application, apply now. Once you click this apply now, it will redirect you to Lendistry's portal. So let's wait. It takes some time. So it's going there. taking us to the portal, Lendistry's portal. Okay, here we go. So this is the Lendistry's portal. This is how it looks. Since this is your first time, click here to apply. So once you apply here, then you can just apply. There are some important information here, which I'm going to share with you. It's pretty much whatever I've described just now. There is something called application certification. You have to download from here, and you should sign. This is more to do with, Lendistry as a company can access your information and so on. You're giving them permission to do so. So once you apply now here, I'm not going to show everything, but I'm just going to show how it looks. It's pretty basic in the beginning. This is, I call it pre-application. So, it asks about your information. There is something called referral partner. If I would encourage you to choose Women's Venture Fund as your referral partner, even though it does not impact, the result. Everything depends on your eligibility criteria. What happens when referral partner is Women's Venture Fund is, let's say Lendistry is trying to reach you and they are not able to reach you for whatever reason, or Lendistry wants additional information about you, then if Women's Venture Fund is a referral partner, sometimes they reach out to us asking like, hey, so and so person, they've been working with you. What, can you help us reach out to her and get us additional information? So that kind of helps you there. Plus other services which I'll tell. And there are other information, owner details, business information, and so on. Very simple. And then once you submit this pre-application, then you will get an email there is something called email address. Always provide your email address. Don't provide this info or help desk at or info at, support at one of those email address. It doesn't recognize. You have to submit your email address. Once you apply everything, then you will get an email from Lendistry with the username and password to activate your portal and so that you can submit all these documents, which is your tax returns and so on. So let me go there and show you how it works. Okay. So I showed you how to apply now. Once it takes you to Lendistry portal, and you're going to get my PowerPoint presentation so you can take a look at this. So I kind of showed you everything, how to go about it. And once, like I said, use referral partner, Women's Venture Fund as a referral partner. Another thing is, if your business address has a PO box, don't use your PO box as your business address. If you don't have any business address but your PO box, you can use your home address as your business address. Then what happens is, once you submit this application, then you will receive an email from Lendistry with the username and password to the portal. Then you can use the login credential to activate and sign into the portal, and you can upload all the required documents in an acceptable format. And you can also link your bank information so that they can verify your bank statements and set up a direct deposit. So whenever you apply, you will get something called DIR number. DIR number is a unique application number. Save that DIR number. That DIR number will be helpful to track. That DIR number will be helpful for us to track. Let's say later on you want our assistance to track or change the application or whatever. So that DIR number will help you. Please check your email, including junk or spam, for username and password. If you don't receive it in inbox, you should get something from noreply@mylendistry.com. If not, you have to call them. So once you get in, then you get inside this portal with the same way, and then you get in and upload all the documents. Remember that the tax return should be fully filed, and all documents need to be uploaded as PDF files. only PDF format files are acceptable, and other image format files such as JPEG or JPG are not acceptable. For example, you have to submit your picture, and if it is in JPG format, it is not acceptable. So there are, all this kind of delay the process. So kind of be mindful about all these things. So everything has to be PDF, and PDF file must be under 15 MB. And also Lendistry portal, it does not recognize special characters if it's saved with special characters. So save it, with the non-special character. In your business tax documents or any documents, do not cover, white out any information on your documents, as this could be, they consider it as an obscuring information necessary to authenticate your application. If you have extra concerns about security, you can password protect your documents and mark them as such in the portal, but don't do anything else. And there's something called, as I said earlier, application certification document, which is more to do with providing Lendistry your permission that they can access your document. Please sign that document, because without that, they don't even open your application. And of course, you have to provide a fully legible identification document for each owner, including yourself. So I'm just repeating what I just discussed. Once again, for more information about this state pandemic grant, you can go to nysmallbusinessrecovery.com. They have a number. I'm going to share that number with you, and they're very open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time. Anytime, please reach out to Women's Venture Fund immediately if you need assistance with your application. We are working very, very closely with Lendistry and ESD. So, there are cases where applications were rejected, and somehow clients think that, oh no, they made a mistake, and somehow they are not able to, they're not getting help from Lendistry for whatever reason. And we, when you reach out with, when we reach out to Lendistry, they are able to solve that problem, because